Many times. I talk to a lot of sinners. Boy, there's people who could never been saved who can quote the Bible to me like that. And one time I said, you know so-and-so? And I said, yeah. He said, you ever heard him talk about the Bible? And I said, no. Didn't know he even knew the Bible. They said, well, boy, he just knows it front to back. But I never knew of him ever acknowledging. I'm not getting judgmental. I'm just saying, state the fact. I never knew of him acknowledging that he knew the Lord Jesus Christ. Never knew of that. He might have, but he never, that I know of. And I thought, well, he believes in Jesus, but he doesn't. The Word says right here, he that believeth on him is not condemned. You trust and believe, simple. Call upon the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and believing in your heart that you will be saved and you shall be. Real simple. Let's move on to what Jesus talks about here, about the condemnation beyond it. Jesus didn't come to condemn us, but many men walk in it. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not only believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world. Who is that light? Jesus. Jesus is that light. We continue on. That light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Now, light sheds a lot onto the scene, doesn't it? Light reveals a lot of things. You know, you can walk in the house at night and your house may be an absolute wreck, but in the dark it looks perfect, doesn't it? Unless you stub your toe. I've had problems with toe stuff. I broke my little toe several years ago. Some of you remember that were going to church with me. I broke this one over on my left foot on the coffee table. And I hit that thing, and you know, your toes are supposed to go that direction, your feet. Mine went that way. And I tell you what, man alive, I was in the floor, I was squalling, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. My wife thought I was having revival in there in the TV room. She come in and she said, what's wrong? And I stuck my foot out there and she seen that toe that way. She said, oh, Jesus. She took me to the emergency room. Couldn't get no shoes on. I had a pair of shorts on, the t-shirt, and I put one shoe on, and I hobbled in with one shoe and this one over here. I mean, whew, got Chester from Gunsmoke. I walked in there, and that lady at that emergency, she said, what's the problem? I said, well, she said, oh, Lord, you know, she said, you broke your toe. I said, you reckon? Oh, it was smart. Nothing like somebody saying this wonderful things there when you're aching. Toes are throbbing and it's pointing the wrong direction. And I was sitting there and everybody walked in, they'd look, they'd come on, they'd go, ooh. I said, yeah, coffee table do that every time. Took me back there to that emergency room doctor, and he walked in. Now, here's an educated man, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to have doctor put in front of his name, went to medical school, internships, and all this stuff in hospitals. He walked in there and looked down at my foot. He said, well, you broke it. I said, I knew that, and I've never been to medical school. He said, there ain't much I can do for it. And I said, I figured. He said, but first I've got to get that thing snapped back in place. And that's when I said, oh, I better start praying. You know, he said, I got to get it straightened up and then we'll tape it. He said, all I can do is tape it together. And he said, you'll hobble for several weeks. I said, that part about snapping in place, he said, yeah, that's going to smart just a little bit, buddy. You know, sometimes doctors are liars. Because when they say it smarts a little bit, oh, no. It's beyond smart. It hurts just a little bit. It absolutely, it hurts. he got that big old needle out. He said, I'll try to numb this thing a little bit. And he stuck it right in that old joint where that toe was going to run. And I thought, oh, I was coming off that table. And I was screaming. Over and grabbed my little toe. But I'm scared of hitting that toe again or another one. I flipped the line on. Rather flip the light on and burn a little KU than end up back at the emergency room and that guy popping my toe back in place. So I flip it on and it reveals a whole lot. When I turn the light, it reveals my pathway. It reveals what direction I need to go. And Jesus speaks about that light. And men seeking after the darkness, light reveals a whole lot of things. It reveals exactly where you're at. Preacher. The light come. He said, I didn't come to condemn you, but the light reveals a lot about yourself. It reveals a lot about the situation. You flip the light on, you can see exactly what direction. You can figure out which pile of clothes. It's like my daughter's room. Oh my goodness. Man ought to have combat pay to just walk in there. And she'll say, Dad, listen, this ain't a teenager. My girl's 29 years old. She's staying at the house and working and paying for some things and getting her life together, and she's doing a great job. But man, that room, it looks like a bomb went off. And there's stuff everywhere. Flipping the light on reveals which pile of clothes you need to step around. Which pile of shoes. Which pile of books. Which pile of pop cans. Which pile of garbage. You need to ease your way through because the light's on, you can see. It reveals everything, the pathway you need to take. That's what the light does. And Jesus speaks about that. Let me touch on that. What the light, he talks about the light beyond the condemnation. And this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world. Let there be light. And men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. We live in a world today where people want to dabble in the darkness. And let me tell you what's in the darkness: uncertainty. In the darkness, you break toes. You get injured. You get hurt. You bring upon yourself injury, hurt. The darkness is their evil deeds. The light that shines reveals that. I've never seen a time in my life where folks just want to dabble in evilness. So it's a vicious, mean, cruel, sinful, evil world. You look around this world today and you read of the things that's going on. Part of the world today, you've got these guys, these extremist guys, these wild guys in the name of some God. They want to kill as many people as they can. Americans, it's just bonus points. They're walking in the darkness in their evil deeds. They're not seeking after the true light of Jesus. Jesus Christ, the light, the life. The light.